Well, here I sit with my Federer shirt and my Federer cup and my Federer-style hair, but I don't have a Federer victory. But you know what? For Fed fans out there, I wouldn't worry. I think this was a good match for Roger Federer. You got to see a little bit of everything. I mean, truly, this match had everything. It had the good.
Oh.
Some bad. And at the end, a little bit of ugly.
It's out, and so is he.
It's out, and so is he. Roger Federer is out. I guess the statement is true, but it's a little bit harsh, bruh. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis. Today's show is brought to you by eHawk42, who gave me a little unrequested advice in a comment below. It's rare that we put a comment in the opening music with the music rolling in the beginning of the show, but I think it's a good idea. Not everyone has a full 30 minutes for a coffee break. So in the spirit of that, and let's face it, I got to get across town for some tennis teaching. Is really the truth here, but in the spirit of that, we're going to try to keep today's show under 15 minutes. Is it possible? Well, you know the answer below. I do not know the answer because here, I am Matt Bradshaw, your host, the all-seeing eye of tennis, and a lot of improv happens here. I don't know how long the show will be. I don't know where we will go, but today it's pretty obvious where we're gonna go because even though the thumbnail has Rafa and Djoker on there, there won't be much talk about Rafa and Djoker because I just want to talk about Federer's match today. We won't see him. You know, we waited a long time, the Federer fans, to see Roger back. We got one match, a nice three-setter where you got to see some outstanding vintage Roger Federer play, and you got to see how human he is as the guy got very nervous out there at times, particularly early on in the match in the first set. And then this is what happens. Even people who play at my level in league tennis, the first set, there can be some nerves, and then, you know, you find your game and play better in the second. And then when it's closing time, as you get closer to either winning or possibly losing, things can get really uncomfortable, even for the greatest players of all time. So, like I said, in today's show, we're going to go through mostly Roger Federer's match and some stats. But I will say one thing. The thumbnail really says it all. This is where the guys are at, and I've got a piece in here we'll get to later where Roger basically says like he misses not being a part of this anymore, and he wants back in on the action. Rafa has found his game, and he won. He told everyone, oh, I lost to Zverev in Madrid, and now I've toasted Zverev, even though it was a pretty tight match, actually, at times. And he wins. He beats Djokovic. He looks great for the French Open. Everything Rafa wants, he got it. He achieved it all. There's still some haters. I have them here in the back. One of them's Boris Becker. I disagree. I think Rafa wins the French Open this year already, but I will give someone like a Tsitsipas, even a Sasha Zverev, they'll have chances to beat Rafa if they play Rafa at the French and if they're feeling good about their games. But still, you're crazy if you don't go with Rafa. I think he can do it this year and next year too. Novak, he was not in a great place, coming back. He won. Obviously, he was in a great place at the Australian Open. But, you know, playing his early tune-up tournaments on clay, Djokovic wasn't in a great place. He had some great wins, particularly when he played 5 sets in one day, the day before he plays Rafa. He had a good match, a respectable outcome against Rafa. I think Djokovic is in a good place. He knows he has a shot at winning the French Open as well. And then Roger, clearly, he's not back yet, but he wants back. And I think he wanted it a lot because it felt like he was a little nervous today. Plus, I think he feels a sense of obligation because, you know, they paid a lot of money to have Roger play at this small ATP tournament. You know, it's a lower-level tournament in Geneva, Switzerland. They paid a lot. They can't sell tickets. There's no fans there. There's some, like, sponsors. You know, that's basically what they did. The big money sponsors who were helping this tournament even happen, they got tickets to see Roger, and I hope they made the most of their one match. But, you know, it was probably worth it, and I'm sure a guy like Roger probably feels bad that he couldn't give them more matches for the appearance fee that he charged them. I'm sure he does feel bad. It almost looked like you could see that on his face after he lost the match. And when he looked at the crowd to say, thanks for the cheers, I'm sorry I couldn't give you more. I think he definitely felt that. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Roger's going to stick around for a couple days and maybe have some meet and greets with some big sponsors for the tournament and, do everything he can to make the most of his time there for the people who paid him so much to be there. Anyways, let's go through some... I hate to do this, but we've been getting away with it lately. So let's go through some quick clips of Roger Federer. You know, he played Pablo Andahar today, who played really well. Kind of a tough draw because this guy's good on clay. You know, Roger should have been able to beat Pablo Andahar normally, but I feel like Pablo Andahar, I watched him in his first match beat Jordan Thompson. And, you know, Jordan Thompson went nuts and smashed his racket, and then he stepped on it later and crushed it the rest of the way. It was pretty nice. I thought he was looking good, and I actually, if I would have done a show yesterday, but I thought, you know, the most important thing is get a show up as fast as possible today after Federer plays his match. So that was my big goal yesterday. I was thinking about, I was trying to peak today. I was saving it to peak. I watched that match, and I thought if I would have done a show yesterday, I would have said, you know what, I give Pablo Andahar, he said he wants to tell his grandkids that he got to play Roger. I'm actually going to give him a good shot at somehow sneaking a win out of there, and he did exactly that. Played very well today, and you'll see it in the stats. Stats will tell it all, but let's go through some clips. This is the third set, and really in the first set, Roger looked nervous and tight to me. His first serve, you'll see in the stats, was good. You know, he was hitting good first serves when they went in, but he was mostly missing, not getting many in. Second serve was outstanding. That kept Roger in the first set and gave him a chance to win it. Of course, he didn't win that first set. Second set was amazing. You know, just say a couple numbers from the stats for you right now. Federer getting 79% of his first serves in the second set. They're very good because he's winning 84% of the time. Second serve, he's winning 80%. So no surprise that Roger wins. The biggest problem was returning. That's what we saw in Doha. Is what Peter Freeman was talking about as well from Crunch Time Coaching, which I have the Tom Brady smoothie mixed with a Djokovic recipe for a healthy smoothie combined in here, actually, in a Crunch Time Coaching cup, the head sponsor of this show, Crunch Time Coaching, and the patron saints of Patreon, patreon.com/Coffee Break Tennis if you want to join the team. Those are the big sponsors here at Coffee Break Tennis. And I'm going to take a sip of this really quick, actually. Well, it's very healthy. So in the second set, no surprise that Roger Federer wins that. When he goes to the third set, and in the second set, you know, he looked really good returning. You know, it wasn't a great returning day overall, but he looked good returning after he got the break. You know, he was able to hold a couple times second set and get a break. And when he got that break, he looked really confident. He played outstanding. I'm going to show you some little tiny clips. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. It's a tiny tournament. We shouldn't get in trouble. Show you a couple clips to show you how good he started playing in the third set and why a lot of people would be shocked. If you were watching halfway into the third set and you walked away, you would be shocked to see that Roger lost this match because he was playing outstanding. There was a lot of vintage Fed going on. So let's start off. Third set confidence starts off in style, a little bit of air Fed. When you're up in the air smashing overheads, you know you're feeling good.
How old is he?
But the nervy-looking shots, the lack of timing, you know, just not being in the moment where you feel the pressure. And again, I'm going to say, you know, the crowd is not a usual crowd. There's not a big crowd, but there's a small crowd of important sponsors who put a lot of money up to make this tournament happen. And Roger knows without those sponsors, the tournament couldn't afford to pay whatever his $1 million plus, maybe $2 million appearance fee. Some rumors were saying it could be that high a few weeks ago, I think, when we talked about that news story. I feel like Roger playing with a little bit of pressure there, knowing that the people in the crowd, you know, they put up a lot of money to make this happen, and if he doesn't deliver, I'm sure he feels bad about that. That's something you don't think about in a typical tennis match, right? But for Roger, that was a reality today. So look at this. Roger misses this forehand and goes, "Hello." Just a little off with the timing, a little nervy at times. It was never far away. Even when he was playing great, we'd see shots like this pop up.
Slot 15.
One thing, though, that worked really well for Andahar is something we've seen Djokovic have a lot of success with against Federer is, you know, you got to take that second serve from Federer. It can be so good, but if you can catch hold of it, take that thing early and hard and drive it up the middle right at Federer, and you can jam him up. We saw this quite a bit, and we saw it on match point as well.
Fault. Yep.
I got a little out of order, but that was from Federer serving with the break. Finally, he gets a little nervous. You'll see there he asks the umpire, is that serve out? I'm sure you just heard that in the clip. You know, a little nervy there, and then you saw the return straight into the body. Let me just show you a few of the outstanding things Roger was doing. Here was a great return.
Oh.
The drop shot that lures Andahar in with the pass, and a lot of great defense from Roger just to stay alive and make this happen before the point where he sets up the passing shot.
Oh.
Federer serving at 3-1 here. I mean, I can show you this. Boom, boom, boom. This is how fast Federer held serve. And then back to that clip I already showed you. I just want you to show this. You'll see the up the body middle return. You already saw it, but let me walk you through it. It kind of creates space because Federer, if he's going to make this shot back, he has to back up to take this ball, and it creates that little opening in his backhand corner. And Andahar steps in, credit to him, takes that forehand on early and big and hits the winner there. And then finally on match point, right? We know Roger saved some match points and looked really good. That backhand he hit on the first one at 1540 was outstanding. But then a mistimed kind of inside. Anytime he tried to pull a forehand inside in, he kind of hold it a little, then pull it across or inside in. We see Federer do this a lot. Wasn't able to time it today. Missed a few of those. He misses that at deuce to set up a third match point. We know how often that third time is the charm in tennis. And again, it's that second serve return hard up the middle right into the body of Roger, jams him up, and he can't get the forehand back. Take a look. Now, I spoke a lot with Crunch Time Coaching's Peter Freeman today. We were texting back and forth during this match talking about it. And a couple things that stuck out. One, Pete said towards when I think around the time Federer held for 3-1 in like 45 seconds, he said, Federer's timing has improved 1,000% in under 2 hours. And that's true because you saw Federer taking a lot of balls really late, missing all of his first serves in the first set, and then all of a sudden he's playing like he never missed a beat. He never left the tour. He's playing outstanding. Looks like the greatest player in the world at times, sometimes in the second and third set. And then another thing Pete said was if Roger would have played a little more like Rafa, more like a clay court player where just a little more topspin, back up to absorb some shots, maybe run a little bit more, but, miss less, not go for so many balls where you step in and take it really early and bring the full offense, he would have won this match already. Pete said that, somewhere in the third set when Federer was up. And I agree with him. And Pete also pointed out that's because Roger is, he didn't come here to win a clay court tournament in Geneva, Switzerland. He came here to work on things that he's going to use to try to win Wimbledon because he knows this is probably his last chance. We all give him a shot next year. I had Pablo Andahar in here talking about I want to tell my grandkids I played him. I think the guy's a great guy, deserves to win today. I'm happy for him. And I thought he did a good job explaining how Rafa, Novak, and Roger, these guys became myths. They are above the sport. And he said a few things I thought were great, but we're trying to get out of here fast today. Let me find the thing that Federer said that I thought was most interesting. Federer speaks out about Alexander Zverev abuse allegations. We'll get into that next time because we don't have time for that today. Federer, everyone is playing great. I want to achieve that again too. Bingo, that's what we're looking for. Another one here where I had a friend of mine say, why is Federer not playing in the why is he not playing Madrid? Why is he playing some little tournament? This is another article I have from Adam Adicott at Ubi Tennis. Roger Federer says focus is on match play, not competing against Djokovic in the Dahl. And that confirms what I was telling my friend a few weeks ago when he found out Federer wasn't going to play in Rome or Madrid and play some tiny tournament. I said, why would Roger go there now, possibly maybe run into a Djokovic or Nadal and just get destroyed? Like, he knows he's not ready. He wants to go play some lower-ranked guys where he can actually get a little rhythm going. Fortunately, he didn't get a lot of rhythm going with only one match, but at least it was a good, tough three-setter. And Federer, like I said, he played some great defense at times. He got to do the drop shot and pull people in and pass. He had some great serving. He had some bad serving. He saved a couple match points. He had a break in the final set leading with a chance to win. Federer really experienced all the ups and downs you can experience in the course of a tennis match. So to me, and for what I think for Team Federer, it's kind of mission accomplished. We'd like to do better for the tournament and the sponsors and give them more matches, give them more of a show. But like I was going to say, that's why I was looking for these articles. Pete was saying Federer refused to play like a clay court style out there because he's already thinking about Wimbledon. He's there to work on things that are going to work better in Wimbledon than they are on clay, and I agree. And I think the team feels the same way, so I think they're pretty happy, get to do a little bit of everything, and get to work on the game some. And, of course, you know, he's trying to play. He's said it a few places. You've probably already seen it. It's all over the place. Roger said he needs to play 10 matches before he even knows if he's ready to go up against guys like Djokovic and Nadal again. Let's see if we can find that. Roger says, I was happy that the knee didn't feel different from hard to clay. Talking about practicing on hard, then practicing on clay. I expect the same to go from clay to grass. Already Roger's kind of letting everyone know what the game plan is here. Since 1998, since we have grass in my schedule, I've never had any issues going between surfaces. I think that the tennis player is used to these switches. Okay. I'm convinced that hitting a lot of balls, I think this is a question about why he's playing on clay. I'm convinced that hitting a lot of balls, you have to really power through the ball. Like you have to on clay, because otherwise you're not going to have an impact on the surface. To hit a winner on clay, you got to hit the ball a little harder. It's going to be beneficial for me when we get to the grass court season. We also heard Federer talk about in 2019, he had a great run at Wimbledon, had match points, obviously, and he kind of credited playing the French Open that time. It said, you know, he really got to fine-tune how to put a point together because it's harder to win a point on clay. So if you can put a point together and execute a winner on clay, it's much easier when you go over to Wimbledon. So no doubt Federer's trying to follow that same formula. Asked about Djokovic and Nadal, he said, of course, there are question marks everywhere, Federer says, you know, where he's at versus them. Nadal and Djokovic are on one side, and I am on the other, says Federer. I will tell more after 10 matches. Right now, I'm not looking to compete straight against them. So it confirms what I said a few weeks ago to my buddy. No reason to go up against those guys where they're at right now, the side they're on, as Federer put it, and, you know, get destroyed. Also, Federer says the generation of Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Team Zverev is not only improved, they have a lot more experience now. Very true. It's why there's some chance Nadal could go down at the French this year because of that fact. Of course, Djokovic could always do it as well. You know, there's just more guys who Rafa will be the favorite over, but who have a shot at beating him just like Djokovic in the past. Obviously, Djokovic deserves more credit, you know, more of a favorite against Rafa on clay than those other guys. But still, like Roger said, not only are they better, but they have a lot more experience now. Nadal and Djokovic are still there. For me, finding that level would be an extra challenge. I think, here's the key for Federer fans, when I am healthy and I will be on the court for a long time, I'll increase my confidence and I will again be a part of the top tier. And that for me was what was lacking today. Federer didn't have his usual confidence, but who would? No one would. You know, even before Federer won the 2017 Australian Open, I thought he had, you know, didn't he lose to Zverev in the Hopman Cup right before that? Obviously, he didn't have the full confidence there, and obviously he didn't have it as he was, you know, struggling with guys like Noah Rubin early on at the Australian Open. And then when he found it, and he was competing at the highest level again, just like he says he wants to do here. And I think Roger and the team really believe that that's possible. All right, we're running out of time. Got to hurry up here. This is a big Tuesdays are a busy day for me. I'll put that out there. So I wish Federer would have not played Tuesday this week, but got to get this video up for the love of the game, for the love of the Fed. Federer, everyone is playing great. I want to achieve that again, too. And here we go. Here's the line I'm looking for. Roger saying, I'm just concerned about where my game is at right now. The guys are back on tour, meaning like there's been more play. Now it's not quite like last year. Obviously, the tour is still not the same. It's not 2019, but things are going better than 2020. So he's saying the guys are back on tour playing more regularly. They're in a good rhythm. The level everyone is producing is great. I want to achieve that again too. Roger, he's seen what's happening. He knows how much he misses it now. I'm sure he has more of an appreciation for the incredible life he's led the last 20 years, and he's ready to get back in it for as long as he can be in it. And the Federer fans, most tennis fans, are hoping that goes that way for him. All right, let's go to the stats, and we'll get out of here. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about for Djokovic and Rafa. A great final in Rome. Outstanding, Rafa. I mean, this is it, man. He's going for it. He's going for GOAT, and I think he's got a great shot. I really do. And Djokovic, of course, he's shown us that he's got enough. You know, he's ready too, right? He's not at his best, but I think he'll be able to find his best halfway. You know, in the first week of the French Open, I think Djokovic will be able to get to his very best, and he showed us some of it. Obviously, those wins over Sonego and Tsitsipas the day before he played Rafa, he showed us a lot there. Let's just look at the stats, hit the music because we're going to get out of here. The stats really tell you everything if you didn't watch the Federer match. First serve, first set, Federer only gets 40% of his serves in, wins 67, which is kind of low for him, and 61% on second. Like I said, outstanding second serving, kept him in the set, gave him a chance, but look at Pablo Andahart, 72 in, 78 win, 86 win on second. Those look like some Rafa numbers right there on clay. You know, sometimes Rafa has a way better second serve than first, but he's getting a ton of first and winning plenty of them too, and he ends up winning the set. Second set, Federer outstanding, 79 in, 84% win on first, 80% win on second. Andahart, not bad numbers, 72 win on first, 60 win on second, 64% first serve in. Those are good numbers, but Federer was outstanding. And then the average of the match shows you the third set was a little bit of everything, just like you got, you know, a lot of bad and a lot of good in the first and second sets. 59% in, 77 win for Federer on the first, 58 on the second. Not bad. A lot of people win numbers like that. Federer just it got nervous and kind of lost it. I don't want to say the word choke because this is an extreme circumstance that you put Federer in today. Hasn't played in so long. He's out on clay in a smaller tournament like this. He's got a big paycheck from these sponsors, you know, from this tournament. I can't stress that enough. I think there was a little pressure there, knowing all these like CEOs and people who put up big money around him. 69, did I say the numbers for Andahart yet? I don't even remember. 69% in for Andahart, 74 win on first, 62 win on second. I mean, it looks really close when you look at the numbers here. Really close, and it was a close match. I really think Roger just kind of lost it for a little. But hey, that's a learning experience for the Federer fans. We will be back. There's a lot of good tennis on this week, so we will be back later in the week, probably Thursday or Friday for sure if we don't have a show on Thursday. Like I said, we'll cover a lot of stuff going on this week with the rest of the tour, but now you know where Roger, Rafa, and Novak stand. See ya!